We welcome back the founder and chief visionary officer of BNI, Dr. Ivan Misner, the largest networking organization with over 8,324 chapters in 71 countries. Dr. Ivan Misner, back on Small Talk. Dr. Ivan Misner, welcome back to Small Talk.
Hey, it's great to be back on your show.
Hey, Ivan, really appreciate you taking the time. And this time around, we are going to talk about the secret to work-life balance.
Yeah.
That is intriguing to me because I hear this a lot about people, they are talking about work-life balance. I'm reading articles around work-life balance. But you said, Javed, I've got a secret to work-life balance. Talk to us here, Ivan.
So look, I run an organization, BNI. We have 8,000 groups, over 8,200, actually 8,300 groups all over the world. And I've written 20 some books. I ran the company for the first 30 years. And people ask me, do you have balance? I mean, how do you have any kind of balance? And they ask me, are you a workaholic? And I tell them I'm not a workaholic, but never trust a man who tells you he's not a workaholic. Ask his wife.
Right.
And if you were to ask my wife, she would say, no, he is absolutely not a workaholic. He works long hours. He works hard, but he also is good at taking time off. And so I think I have the secret to balance. Joe, you want to hear it?
I absolutely want to hear it. Absolutely.
Here it is. Ready?
Okay.
Forget about balance. You'll never have it. Now, usually when I say that to people in a big audience, there's always somebody in the front going, oh, no, really? I was hoping for some, okay, that's the bad news. Here's the good news. See, the bad news is it's impossible to have balance, especially if you're an entrepreneur. If you're in a business, we look at balance like Lady Justice, holding the scales of justice. And our life just has to be completely in balance, and business has to be balanced with our personal life and our health and our family and our spirituality. Forget about it. That is an impossible thing to achieve. Release it. So that's the bad news. Here's the good news. The good news is you may not be able to have balance in your life, but I believe strongly that you can have harmony in your life. And this is more than semantics. Even the logo, the graphic art for harmony, the yin and the yang, even the yin and the yang are out of balance if you separate them. And so it is possible to have a life that's maybe not completely in balance, but you can have a life in harmony. And here are the ways you accomplish that, I believe. And I've written about this in my blog. Go to ivanmisner.com. You'll find videos on this and some other things. So I'm going to give you 5 or 6 things, okay?
Okay.
Create a life of harmony. Here's one, probably the single most important. Just a few simple words. Be here now. 3 easy words. Be here now. Wherever you are, be there. Don't be at home thinking about the project that you have to do at the office. Don't be at the office beating yourself up for not spending time with the kids last night. Wherever you are, be fully present to that moment so that you are engaged in your life. You are present to your life. I remember, because I travel, we were talking about this before we went on the recording, I travel crazy long hours, or I work long hours and I travel all over the world.
Right.
And I asked my son, once we were sitting down, he was 17 years old, and we're playing a computer game. And I said, son, Trey, have I been around enough for you? And he looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, what? He said, you're around all the time. I said, I travel a lot, like every other week. He's like, yeah. Like, so I'm not always here. He said, yeah, but when you're here, you're like here. So can we get back to the game now? And I'm like, yes, we can. So that's an example. Be here now. Nobody's perfect at this. I certainly am not.
So that's the key phrase. So it sounds like, from your perspective, Ivan, there really is no work-life balance per se. It's be in the moment, be here now. That's the key. That's the secret for those watching.
That's one. Here's another. Practice letting go and holding on. Now that sounds contradictory, but contrary to popular belief, I do not believe it is possible to have it all. I think that's a lie. So unfortunately, life involves making choices. So you got to practice understanding what things to say no to and letting go. And at the same time, you need to know what's truly important in your life and hold on to them. Because sometimes somebody else's mission is your distraction. And so learn what is your mission in life, personally and in business, and focus on doing things that are in your mission, and don't get caught up with distractions. Practice letting go and holding on. So here's a big one. This is a huge one. Be intentional about who you let into your life. I'm working on a book right now. It hasn't come out. It's called Who's in Your Room? And here's the concept. Imagine you live your life in one room, and that one room has only one door, and that one door is an enter-only door, so that when people come into your life, they're there forever. You can never get them out. Now, luckily, this is a metaphor, but if it were true, would you be more selective about the people that you let into your life?
Absolutely.
That's what everybody says. So why aren't we more selective now? Absolutely. And so what we talk about in the book, I just finished the manuscript. We're working on a publisher right now. And so one of the things we say is you've got to be really good with your values. You have to know what your values are, and you let people into your room who have values that are congruent with yours, that are not incongruent, so that you're letting the right kind of people into your room. Here's another one. Give you two more. Create margins in whatever you do. Create margins. Being an entrepreneur is a crazy busy life. So you want to create a life with margins, building free time, family time, personal time into your day. For me, when I go on a business trip in the summer, when my kids were small, we would go on a business trip. I would do a week of business, and then I would take a week off. I'd bring the family out with me, or I'd bring them out to meet me a week later. And I always created margins around my life whenever at all possible. And here's a really important one. It's the last one. I've got like 6, 7, 8 of them, but here's one more. Work in your flame, not in your wax. When entrepreneurs are in their flame, they're excited, they're on fire, they love what they're doing. When they're in their wax, it takes all their energy away. And so the more you can work on your flame, the more excited you are about what you're doing, and it doesn't seem like hard work. When people look at me, they think, wow, he works hard, but I'm enjoying what I do because I'm working in my flame. These are some of the ways that you can create harmony in your life, and forget about balance. Let that go. It's just not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
No.
Really, really intriguing conversation, Ivan. Thank you. Your contact information is there. Please go to ivanmisner.com. If you are in any community, look up BNI. Perhaps there's a chapter. If it's not near you, it's going to be pretty close. They've got chapters, 71 countries, folks, in the world, over 8,000, I think 200 or so you were saying.
Yeah.
So, I know certainly now in the community I'm around, there's a number of chapters. So if you are, you're watching this and you're interested, what is BNI? Look up BNI. You will see a variety of chapters. Ivan, thank you again for being on Small Talk. It has always been a pleasure, and we certainly look forward to seeing you again very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you to Dr. Ivan Misner of BNI Global for joining me on Small Talk. Now it's your turn. Please comment, subscribe, and share. If you've got a topic you'd like to discuss on the show, please give me a call or send me an email. We'll talk with you next time.